नीलू भाई बाद में करेंगे। कॉन्फ्रेंस शुरू हुई है, उसके बाद में आपको करना चाहिए अपना सारा डालने फिर साउंड चेक। अभी अब यही सारी ऑन है, हट जाओ बता दो।
Request all of you to please take your seats and settle down. We're about to begin the program in 5 minutes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest for the evening has arrived. May I kindly request everyone to please take seats as we're about to begin with the valedictory session. Few minutes. Thank you. To me, but I'm sure all of you have just entered via the red carpet there. The theme for this lovely evening is definitely the 100 years of cinema, but before that we have something more important in store for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to now begin with the valedictory session and the convention concluding function. We are truly honored to have amongst us our chief guest for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a warm round of applause for our chief guest, Honorable Member of the Parliament, Mr. Piyush Goyal. Let's have a huge round of applause to thank him for his valuable presence and his time over here. I would now like to invite our honorable dignitaries to please come on the dais and take seats. May I first invite our chief guest, Honorable Member of the Parliament, Mr. Piyush Goyal. We are also joined by the former Minister of Civil Aviation, Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan. May I also invite Mr. Arvind Parekh, Advisor FFAI, Mr. Shantanu Bhadkamkar, Chairman FFAI, and Mr. Sailesh Bhatia, Convention Convener. Let's have a warm round of applause once again as I invite our honorable dignitaries to please come on the dais.
मैंने तो जगह ले ली अपनी, अब आपको लेनी है।
Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request Mr. Arvind Parekh, Advisor FFAI, to present the bouquet, the memento, and the Taj crystal to welcome our chief guest for the evening, Honorable Member of the Parliament, Mr. Piyush Goyal. May I also request now Mr. Sailesh Bhatia, Convention Convener, to present the bouquet to former Minister of Civil Aviation, Shri Arif Mohammad Khan. To welcome him, let's have a huge round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr. Arvind Parekh, Advisor FFAI, to present the valedictory address.
Mr. Goel, Mr. Arif Ahmed Khan, Shantanu, and Mr. Bhatia. I had prepared a speech covering what one may call valedictory address. Looking to the present scenario, the speech originally when I came here, I thought I'll speak for 15 minutes. After a while, when I saw the drums being played, I decided to speak for 10 minutes. Climbing up these stairs, I decided I will speak for 5 minutes. And Shantanu agreed with me. In fact, the mood is quite different. However, one has to perform one's duty. First of all, I would like to thank the Federation for inviting me at the end of this very productive and a very well-conducted convention. I'm sure all of you will agree. The caliber of dignitaries who attended and the resources drawn as speakers has been superlative in terms of presentations made and the viewpoints expressed. The very fact that top officials of the Customs, DG Shipping, Revenue Secretary, I don't have to give the list to save time. And I'm sure that the importance attached by all concerned to the deliberations of this convention is very, very meaningful, and I only hope that you carry the message which our President has very rightly enunciated this evening. For our country's international trade to become truly competitive and offering quality services against global benchmarks, it will need the cooperation of all those present here today, the lawmakers, regulators, the export-import business houses, and indeed all the intermediaries who facilitate the logistic processes and bring the whole supply chain picture together. Each segment has its own needs, its own issues, its own perspectives. What's more, each segment has its own approach, its own style, and its own priorities. It will then need the will on our part, and all of us, to put our national interests first, focus on the facilitation of our country's trade with an eye on our GDP and current account deficits, and hence the will to put our heads and shoulders together for the larger good. I had prepared a short history of how, when I started business in 1948, what was the condition of the trade at that time, the Kup Manduk, or the frog in the well attitude, which those time the CHAs or the Mukaddams, Dalals, etc. had. I don't have to go through it. I will just miss 2 pages. However, one very important thing which I noticed the other day, Mr. Tewari of BMR stated that to face the challenges the customs brokers will have to develop 3 things. He said we shall have to develop adaptability, we'll have to develop courage and hope. These are, of course, very important essentials, as we all know and agree. However, I have a slight difference of opinion there. In my opinion, to be able to envisage the importance of these tenets, first of all, the customs brokers, some of them, several of them, will have to change their mind. Their mindset will have to completely change, and that is what I think is very relevant. Unless the track of your mindset is changed to track number 2, then you will talk of adaptability, courage, and hope. So I have a feeling that first of all, what we all need to do, some of us, that we have to change our mindset. In the last analysis, we are all together in the business of promoting our country's foreign trade and GDP. We must all work together. I will not repeat this. Then Mr. Sankalp Chatterjee stated, and this is a valedictory address, so I have to cover some of the points which people have stated in the last 2 days. Mr. Sankalp Bhattacharya stated that the custom broker is a professional. One cannot call oneself as a professional. He also said that if you have got an empty basement, you become a warehousing agent. If you have got 2 trucks, you call yourself a transport contractor. And if you have got a telephone line, you call yourself a freight forwarder. This is not what is meant if you want to really become a professional. Therefore, we have to choose our positioning in the marketplace. Do we have large ambitions, or we wish to remain small to medium enterprises? Do we wish to become full-fledged logistics service providers, providing a large spectrum of transportation, storage, value-added services, to be a niche player affiliated into a larger logistic chain, keeping in mind internal resource constraints and larger perspective of the present global economic slowdown? I have 1 or 2 small suggestions for FFAI, if I may. We heard that KPMG have conducted a survey which was very ably, very effectively projected by the representative of KPMG here. I would only suggest one more thing, that in the analysis, could we have also sections where people are working purely as custom house agent, talking of dispatch? Then we have got freight forwarders who are not talking of dispatch but delivery. They are going a step ahead. And then there are several who call themselves logistics service providers. In other words, all pervading services which are necessary in the field of logistics. So I think but somebody told me that KPMG have already got this analysis. If that analysis would be there, I think it would be very useful. In closing, may I again reiterate my conviction that today we have the younger generation of entrepreneurs in the business who are very well educated, have the needed motivation and zeal, and by putting their heads and shoulders together, they are bound to keep the customs broker and the freight forwarders essential parts of the logistics chain. We will not be disappear in 5 years, I am quite sure. Don't forget, and you should always remember, that logistics is the key to successful economic activity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Shantanu Bhadkamkar, the chairman of FFAI, to present his remarks with the August gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shantanu Bhadkamkar.
Honorable Mr. Arif Muhammad Khan, Honorable Mr. Piyush Goyal, respected Arvind Parekh, my dear friend Shailesh, delegates, sponsors, family members, welcome to the concluding session. This is the last part of our 2.5 day show. It was a dense schedule and it is a star-studded night. All these 2.5 days, we were fortunate, we had a full cross-section of society present with us. Today we have very senior and most highly respected politicians with us. We had very senior and highly respected bureaucrats address us. We also had a retired Supreme Court Justice who is very famous with us. So we had a full galaxy. We also had the leaders of our industry like Shashikiran Shetty and Mr. Arvind Parekh with us. I don't think we can have better opportunity. To top it up, we had excellent speakers. We had selected only 3 out of 10 people we approached, and we approached selectively. We worked very hard with them for the business sessions, and all of them would have told in the session that we worked and we made them work hard for us. So it was a dense schedule and it was heavy for all of you. I am sure now everyone must be feeling relaxed, but what I hope is you take back home a lot, and after 2 years for next biennial convention, everyone should be more eager than ever for attending Triple FI convention. This year, our attendance is 60% higher than earlier. Next convention, it should be 160% higher. That's what we expect. And I really wish to thank you for bearing me, for joining me in all the sessions, keeping the hall full for all the sessions. I appreciate your support. And above all, we must appreciate what Shailesh has contributed to the convention, and he has contributed to Triple FI. For last 12 years, we know that he has been a star performer, but I think he has exceeded my expectations this time. Thanks, Shailesh. And thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, indeed, it's definitely been 3 days of knowledge sharing and most importantly, networking with peer members as well as speakers and industry professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening, we are truly honored to have the presence of Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Piyush Goyal, as our chief guest for the evening. Let's have a warm round of applause as I now invite our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Piyush Goyal, to please come forward and share a few words with us.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I just want to first correct the perception. The chief guest is Arif Bhai. He's a much, much more senior leader, very much respected in this country. So, madam, you just correct your perception about that, first of all. It's a privilege, actually, to share the dais with Arif Bhai this evening. My very good friend, the president of the Freight Forwarders Association, Shantanu, Arvindji, who's one of the most respected names in the industry, Shailesh, who's like family to me and who can order me to go anywhere and go and give any kind of lecture, and he also can order me, which he did, that stick to just 15 minutes, you don't have more than that, because he knows that politicians on the mic can be a little dangerous. They don't know when to stop, but I'll stick to that, Shailesh. My compliments to all of you. It's very heartening to know that a 2.5-day conference with the kind of business sessions that I just read in this booklet is an outstanding achievement. It's something that should make all of you very proud, not only of the leadership of your association, but I think for the fact that all of you are so much engaged in the learning, in the kind of business sessions that I've seen here is something that I think all of you should be proud of. My heartiest compliments to all of you. You know, originally I was told I should speak on parliamentary committees and how your association and your profession could benefit with engaging more with parliamentary committees. But when I see all the spouses in the room today, I see the stage backdrop. It's certainly not the atmosphere you want to hear about parliamentary committees. So I'm going to take a rain check on that. Maybe one of these days Shantanu and some of you could come down and I could give you some gyan on parliamentary committee working. But for the day, I think I'll try and raise one or two more pressing issues before the nation, just for you to dwell upon, just for you to ponder upon as you head back home, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Before I do that, Shantanu and his team has met me a few days back with certain issues that I thought merited serious attention of the government. There were issues related to the self-assessment scheme and how it impacts your trade, how it impacts your work. There were issues related to the obligations cast on freight forwarders or customs house agents originally and brokers, as I read now. Those obligations can be onerous in terms of the know your customer requirements. So I think there are certain issues that do merit government's attention. I'm told Sumit Bose was here and he has given a patient hearing to some of your concerns. And I assure you that you have my full support, and if there's anything I can take forward with the government, I will certainly be at your disposal anytime. Save and except the fact is that right now, Arif Bhai, forgive me for being a little political here, but right now we have a state of paralysis in the whole political system, especially with elections almost round the corner. So I suspect you will have to wait some time for a new government, whoever it may be, I'm not trying to politicize the atmosphere, but a new government, whoever comes into power with a fresh mandate, I think will be more open to thoughts and ideas about what should be done to further your business interests. So we'll leave that for another day. We'll leave that for a more private conversation of how the government should be convinced that this is good. And I personally can tell you that you do have a point. I mean, you certainly can't cast a responsibility on you for the antecedents or verification of antecedents of your customers. But taking a cue from that, I want to raise a point that has been agitating my mind for years. I've had the advantage of running an industry myself and being engaged in import of machinery and the export of products, engineering products. So I've personally had some exposure to your trade and to the international trade or the import and export trade. I tell you, when I first started, it was in 91 when I did the first transaction, international transaction. And I met 3 or 4 brokers to try and decide whom I should engage with, who should be representing me for import and export. And if I remember correctly, we used to have the, not drawback was also there, but I was using the scheme where you got DPB. Yeah, I was using the DPB scheme at that time, 91, for forgings, steel forgings. And I met 4 agents. 3 of them were people who told me, this can be sorted out. This, I'll get it done. This, no problem. For everything I told him, there was no problem. Ho jayega. And there was a 4th who told on every issue, he mentioned to me, let me study the law and get back to you. We'll have to check whether this fits into this category. Let me talk to an expert, a technical expert on another issue and come back to you. And I liked the 4th guy, and his charges at that time were 4% of the transaction value. All the other 3 were willing to do it at 1%. But I chose to go with the fellow who charged me 4%. But I thought that was the kind of value addition that we expect from all of you. That's the role that you will have to play as professionals. Arvindji just mentioned about the role of professionals. I think it's very important that this everything can be managed attitude that our whole nation has got into. It's not your fault. It's probably all of us in the system, including me, whether as a politician or whether as an industrial person or a professional myself. I think we are all to blame for this systemic failure where A, we have come to accept that unless we pay a bribe, nothing can be done. B, we want to have a shortcut in everything we do. So that means managing the system. And C, we have come to believe that it cannot change. And that's the message we pass down to the next generation and then thereafter. So I think, Arvindji, it's for leaders like you in this profession to take a lead to educate your entire community. Because ultimately, if at all of you decide, you are the interface with the government or with the tax revenue authorities. If all of you decide you're not going to short shaft the system, you're not going to undercut each other and make some rules of the game, believe me,